See, that's our first votes, and that's the wonder of democracy, whether you're a Democrat or Republican. And I wanted to point that out to be a little bit of the crank in the room following Brianna there. Stay off social media, people, if you're trying to figure out, are there really issues with votings? Trust your local officials, trust us here, trust a news source that you know and trust to be honest about this. They're doing their jobs and they're doing it right.
Okay.
The sharing of biased and
false news has become all too common on social media. This is extremely dangerous to our democracy.
Trust your local officials, trust us here, trust a news source that you know and trust.
Yeah, trust us, said the pathological liar and snake oil salesman, and, yeah, no thank you. Welcome back, beautiful and amazing human beings. My name's Zuckerdeski here of WeAreChange.org, and man, oh man, oh man, is there some absolutely crazy news to get into, especially after last night's midterm elections, which has a lot of people questioning what in the world is going on here, as a lot of what people predicted didn't turn out to be true. What happened? What are the bigger consequences? What's the bigger meaning here? Will Rand Paul be able to have another showdown with Dr. Fauci? Well, all of that is up in the air. We're going to be talking about that, as well as all the latest confusing Elon Musk and Twitter news, which hopefully we will be able to simplify for you all here on this independent media organization. And if you like the shirt that I'm wearing, you can get it on thebestpoliticalshirts.com. And the clip that we played in the beginning of this broadcast was by no one other than, of course, CNN, but the clip was edited by Wall Street Silver, Twitter online social media account that has absolutely perfectly remixed this clip to show the absolute absurdity, the hubris of the corporate mainstream media that, of course, has been obviously pushing a narrative here that greatly benefits the sponsors of their news broadcast, rather than, of course, actually providing any news. Wall Street Silver did an incredible job here. They actually have a YouTube channel, so we are going to be linking their channel down below in our description. Subscribe to their channel because their work absolutely deserves to be supported and does really great work, as they perfectly highlighted how the corporate media many times in unison pushes agendas, narrative, and messaging, just like they recently did, telling us that the Republicans were going to win handedly in this upcoming midterm election like they historically do, and they didn't. And the fact that after the lockdowns, after the mandatory procedures, after the riots, after the rise in crime, after inflation, that still the Republicans couldn't win after all of those issues were in their favor, shows you that they have absolutely failed last night, as even current Republican neoconservative Lindsey Graham admitted last night that, quote, "This is definitely not a Republican wave, that's for damn sure," end quote. This as still many Senate races remain too close to call. This as in Georgia, there still might be a runoff election in the future that would determine the fate of the U.S. Senate, as of course this would determine which political party would have majority rule over the other. This as currently the tally says that the Republicans have only gained 3 seats in the House and 1 seat in the Senate as of right now, with still a lot of the voting continuing on right now. And it's absolutely a dismal performance to what historically happens, as of course the midterms usually highlight a larger shift in political power. Like in 2010, Republicans picked up 63 new members of Congress and 6 senators along with 6 governors. In 2014, Republicans picked up 13 House members, 9 Senate members, and 2 governors. And out of all this, John Fetterman somehow won the Senate Pennsylvania seat, asking a lot of people what in the world happening here, leaving a lot of people bewildered, as Dr. Oz has just officially conceded after what was a very tight race. Dr. Oz, again, was officially endorsed by, of course, the former president of the United States, Donald Trump, who pushed aside another candidate, Kathy Barnett, which many people believe would have been more competitive in this race than, of course, Dr. Oz. As it's important to note here that the former president of the United States endorsed a lot of candidates and was acting like some kind of kingmaker, according to a lot of political analysts who didn't really, let's be just honest here with ourselves, make many kings. This as even Republican candidates that he attacked and sparred with. One, while of course many people that he had officially endorsed, campaigned for, and pushed, lost very handedly. This as even one of his endorsements he's attacking today for not being 100% in line with him on a niche issue of what happened in the 2020 election. This, of course, being specifically New Hampshire Senate race hopeful Don Bolduc, who also got into a physical altercation with a Free Stater, which absolutely didn't help his causes at all in the state. As allegedly, Trump is livid and screaming at everybody this morning, according to some news sources. Again, a lot of the anonymous news sources for Donald Trump were absolutely wrong during his time period, so just take this with a grain of sand. But it wouldn't surprise me if he wasn't pleased with, of course, the lackluster support of what happened with the voting last night. This, as of course, the former president of the United States is expected to announce that he's going to be running for the president in 2024, which now many fellow Republicans are saying, well, quote, it might be time to move on from Trump to, of course, DeSantis, who did win by very wide margins last night in the state of Florida when he became the governor there again, and even flipped major Democratic counties like Miami in favor of course, the Republican Party. The New York Post even today went on to label him as a, quote, young GOP star, as just a couple days ago, Donald Trump called him desanctimonious and attacked him, and now he's being described by the New York Post as, quote, DeFUTURE. Now, is Ron DeSantis the future of the Republican Party? Well, a lot of political analysts are saying that it's exactly what is happening right now, as he has been extremely popular in the state of Florida with all of the policies that he has been implementing that mainly do push back against woke culture, limit taxes, and do push for more personal responsibility on the individual rather than, of course, big government. Now, there's a lot of things that we could criticize Ron DeSantis on, and trust me, we will, just like we do anyone. But as governor of the state, it's also important to note here that he implemented a lot of voting rules and laws that banned mass mail-in ballots, banned ballot harvesting, required individuals to show identification before voting, and even went as far as to create an election police force with arresting powers while investing funds into the election process that allowed it to actually count its votes. Last night, Florida was able to count 7.2 million votes by 9 p.m. 99% of the votes were counted by midnight. Meanwhile, we're hearing today that votes in Arizona could be being counted as far as Friday or even as far as Thanksgiving, as clearly the votes aren't counted the same way as they are in Florida than they are in Arizona. Now, it's also important to note here, just to be absolutely fair and balanced here, that DeSantis also did endorse candidates in this upcoming midterm election, which weren't elected and didn't win. Something important to, of course, talk about here as well in all fairness. But will DeSantis be the future of the GOP? Will Donald Trump still announce in the next coming days? Well, only time will tell. We're going to be keeping a close eye on it. But what do you think? And of course, let me know down in the comment section below. And of course, I have a lot more to say about this particular topic that is a little bit too spicy, which I'm saving for LukeUncensored.com, as there are some subject matters here that are not family friendly, that are not YouTube friendly, that we're going to be discussing on our own platform, LukeUncensored.com. If you guys haven't signed up yet, what are you guys waiting for? It's just 50 cents a day, and it allows this independent media broadcast not only to operate, but to serve you a whole bunch of value that is only available to you if you are a member. 3 masterclasses, exclusive merchandise, exclusive access to events, and of course, even access to the members themselves, as you guys will be able to talk to each other, work together, share tips, tricks, and information together, along with videos almost every single day for members only that are centered towards helping you being the best and strongest versions of yourself, navigating the craziness of our current political and social landscape. LukeUncensored.com. You haven't signed up yet. What are you waiting for? Sign up is very easy, very quick. Just click here, and I will see you there right after this video, which we're still not done with. There's still so much chaos, so much information to get into, as of course, this election is going to have a lot of implications, not just on the future investigations and committee hearing meetings that are going to be taking place here, but also on our foreign policy, as of course, Ukraine also has a dog in this fight, but so of course does big tech social media, which the government has been promising to crack down on ever since Elon Musk purchased Twitter and has been promising free speech. That free speech is, of course, a threat to powerful people who don't want you knowing the truth of what's really happening in this world, as of course free speech stands in the way of the lies of the larger agenda that is being pushed against you, your family members, and this country. Today we're also finding out that Elon Musk had to sell at least $3.95 billion worth of Tesla shares additionally in order to complete his purchase of Twitter, something that of course has plummeted his overall wealth and value of, as in the making of this video, Twitter just implemented a double verified symbol, which in the making of this video they just got rid of. As this CNN article is spreading fake news, as of course, they still should be able to update and fix it, as of course it feature appeared on Twitter just moments ago, and now it is gone, and they did update the article. Twitter briefly rolled out gray official checkmarks, then Elon Musk changed his mind. And hey, talk about a fast turnaround there, as of course today we're also finding out that a lot of the Twitter trends were artificially placed there in order to, of course, push certain political issues and beliefs onto people, as of course that curation was specifically ended in Japan, where now the trending page is dominated by anime and video games, as it rightfully should be, as of course that's the main topic that people want to discuss and are overwhelmingly discussing over, of course, the latest nonsensical political indoctrination. And it's not just Twitter and Elon Musk feeling the financial grips of the larger responsibility of running a big tech social media company that acts like the arbitrator of truth, as today we're finding out that Mark Zuckerberg is cutting 11,000 jobs over at Facebook Meta. Yes, 11,000 jobs are being cut from Facebook, as Mark Zuckerberg just apologized to his staff in a 6 a.m. email that he is slashing 13% of its workforce in one of the biggest U.S. layoffs this year, as the shares of Meta and Facebook are also dropping down dramatically, devaluing the value of that company in very huge, massive ways, showing us that mainly promoting a lifestyle of living online in a virtual reality headset is not something that people actually want to do. This, as Facebook also has been acting on behests of the U.S. federal government and the FBI doing their bidding, investing hundreds of millions of dollars backing Democratic election policies that have predominantly benefited them, and I think also have had an effect, not just on the last election, but of course this election as well. I'm going to be talking about that, plus a lot more on LukeUncensored.com. I wouldn't be here if it wasn't for you guys actively watching and sharing this video, and this is why I love you guys. Stay tuned for more here on WeAreChange.org.